Hi guys. So, been a long time, right? I still got Trixie. Still Mama Phoenix. How's my littles tonight? Well, I don't have hot cocoa to spill. I guess a Sprite, right? Such a derp. She's such a derp. So, updates. God, there are so many. And I need to give them to you. Okay. So sadly, maybe not sadly, the leather cord that I wore for Sir is gone. I struggled. You know how much I love that man. And I struggled. And I struggled because he, let's be honest, didn't give me the attention that as a dom he was supposed to. He didn't at all. And I put up with it for a long time because, well, I loved him. I did. I loved him. I still love him. Sir, I still love you. And he knows this. He knows that he is the one that I will forever have the torch for. I don't know if I'm ever going to make it over to see him. And where I'm at right now, what I'm doing right now, that would be direct disobedience. And I could lose my current dominant. And I'd risk it. I'd risk it for him. He doesn't deserve me. He doesn't deserve the loyalty that I gave him. He doesn't deserve a lot of that. But still, I gave it to him, and still I love him. So, updates. Well, first of all, I was just chatting with someone local, and it was actually about, I've gotten pierced since I've talked last. Ready? And I got the girls done. Because, it was my attempt to try to keep Sir's attention. I tried so hard to get him to agree to me, for me to come to him. And, Daddy, the husband, thinks that he might have chickened out, that he realizes that he can't hold up this image that he held, that I held for him. I don't know. I know he got busier with work. I know the wife isn't working and it's harder for him to get away, but I did everything to try to keep his attention. Okay. Yawn counter. First one. But it's late. In my defense, it is 11 p.m. and I have been chronically under-rested. Not arrested, under-rested. Not enough sleep. Chronically lately. So, yeah. So I started to, actually, I was on my usual app, which I'm not on now. And I posted about the piercings, and I got a message, like, hey, how's it going, blah, 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 I have a piercing too. Being respectful, being properly talkative, being, just being friendly. And so we agreed to meet, because I didn't have shit to do that day. And so we met, and there was an instant connection. God. And Sir is 6 foot, blonde, blue-eyed, beard, blue collar worker, right? That is my bread and butter. That is my weakness. That is my kryptonite. Well, this guy, older version. Oh my God, Sir is 24. And I actually, I've had a birthday since I've talked to you guys last. So I'm 41 now. Sir's 24 now. I'm 41. And this guy is 38. Mr. D. I don't know, like the first day I met him, he picked my big ass up. He picked me up, carried me. We're sitting on this porch of this park. We're at this park, and they have a log cabin there. And I think it's for pictures. I don't know. But, you know, I said how, because, you know, I'm not a little thing. I'm not. I still have Trixie. I'm not a little thing. And I've never been picked up before. And he goes, oh, I can pick you up. I'm like, really? He goes, yeah. So he proceeds to literally pick me up and carry me around and put me up against a wall. Oh, ooh, I wrote a poem about up against the wall. Ooh, honey. Oh, and we had this amazing connection. And I'm going to have to get into that later because otherwise this video is going to be way too long. So, and he found out I was submissive and he's dominant. And, sorry, dog is like insisting upon, Trixie, dog is insisting upon. That's number 2 or 3. The other one was I blocked it, but that one I couldn't. Yeah, he found out I was submissive. Like, I'm technically a switch, but I lean heavier on the submissive side. And I said, look, I've got a sir. I'm not looking, but it was long distance, and I tired of being ignored, tired of being put in the box that he kept, yeah, Trixie's leaving, that he promised me he wouldn't do. Sir put me in the box. Repeatedly. Like, I lived in that thing for, like, way too damn long. And, now I had the leather cord on. So it's like, I was looking at pictures on Facebook, like, August of last year, I wore that leather cord for that man. He didn't tell me to put it on, but I put it on myself just as an outward sign. And so me and Mr. D got talking, and we got closer, and he says, would you like a real, actual, physical item for the dominance and submission? Because, you know, he's like, I'll take second place for right now. Which, you know, he's like, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with playing second fiddle. And, you know, that wasn't his plan, but that was how he got me. And so he gave me attention. So he lives an hour away, right? He drove an hour just to see me for 5 minutes while I was at work. He came on my lunch hour one day, and we got in the backseat of his truck in the work parking lot. And it was fun. I had to get redressed before I went back inside, let's put it that way. And he goes, you know, we were playing around in the back of his truck in the parking lot. And he goes, do you want the D? Or do you want, and the trinket to show the physical, like something that someone else gave me and not just what I put on myself. It was a ring. It was a cheap ring, and that's fine. We'd literally been talking a week or two. So it was kind of quick. It was very quick, okay? And I said, as much as I want the D, because I did, I said, I want the ring. I want that sign that you own me. And he says, yeah. So, you know, and it's at this point, it used to be all black, but I wear it. Wait, wonder if I can get that. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I think that worked. So he gets a good answer. That was the right answer. And I was like, yay. So I got both. And, you know, it's been amazing. It's been absolutely amazing. And That was the beginning of June. So we've been together for like a month and a half. Mr. D is married for the moment. And he told me, like, we met up at a park. We do a lot of public. He told me, now, submissives get attached to their dominance. And I said, I know. I love the last guy. I still love the last guy. I said, but know that guys get attached to me. I am, for whatever reason, there's something about me that, women too. God, I had this one chick, I don't know if I shared about her, the couple, after playing together once, she's like, so we're girlfriend and girlfriend, right? And I'm like, sure. Because, it was fun to play around. She got too clingy and I had to break it off with her. Yeah, there was others. And her husband got jealous because I'm better than he was. And that's all I'm going to say about that. I can still hear him, you never moan like that for me. Well, son, women kind of know what they're doing when it comes to other women, just like men know what they're doing when it comes to other men. It's true. So, Mr. D and I, and we got closer, right? Oh, hold on. See, it's like number 3 or 4. Anyway, so we got closer, and I knew that with Sir, I couldn't keep it up forever. I couldn't. So, well, I said to him, and I knew it was going to answer, okay? Before anybody says anything, I knew what he was going to answer. I said, look, I need you to step up or step down. Because I need more than what you can give me right now. I need more. And I'm asking for it. And he goes, with my job, with everything going on, he's like, I just can't. And it crushed me. And I took the leather cord off. And I kind of miss it because I like the way it looked. I really enjoyed the way it looked. And it was also my sign that Sir owed me. But so now I'm with Mr. D. And, in the time that I was with Sir, I wrote a lot of poetry to him. And one of my goals before I turn 50 is to get published. And Mr. D knows somebody who is an author. He's friends with an author, an actual author who has published books. So he told me one day, Mr. D did, he goes, I won a surprise today. And I'm like, okay. And I had no idea. None at all. So I was like, I'll write him a poem. Poems are cool. I can do a poem. Poems I can knock out pretty quickly. Everybody has different gifts they were giving, and writing a poem is one of mine. So I wrote him a poem. Knocked it out pretty quick, like every poem I do. And we're sitting in his truck. Oh my God, Mr. D has a big black truck. You see like a million of them, there's like Dodges and Chevys and Fords and that. And those are the 3 big ones. GMCs maybe? No, it's one of those guys. And God, I love this shirt. It's so pretty. I love it. And it was I've been the only person who's ever been completely naked in that truck. We have public play a lot. He and I are both adventurous that way. So, where the hell was it? Oh, okay. Yeah. So we're sitting in his truck. I'm partially dressed, like usual. And I said, I got your surprise. And he goes, really? No, number 4 or 5. He's like, I was like, yeah, I got your surprise. And he said, what is it? And I said, well, I wrote you a poem. And he's just like, you wrote me a poem? And I was like, well, yeah. You know, I love writing poetry. When it moves me, I can really get into it and write some good stuff. So I read it to him, and he goes, and he's just sitting there, he's like, wow, hold on, just hold on. And I'm like, okay, dude. So he calls his author friend. I didn't even know his friend was an author. And he says, hey, how's it going? And she's like, oh, hey, how's it going? He goes, listen to this. And he looks at me, he goes, read her your poem. And I'm like, I don't know her. And that's what I'm thinking. But I'm like, okay. You know, he's my dominant. I will listen to him. So I read it. And she's like, that's really good. And so we ended up talking and trading information and going back to SUR. I got over a year's worth of poems to him, right? So I finally sat down and typed them all out, and in front of each one is an intro to what I was feeling, where I was at, where my head was at. And yeah, my friend wants me to call it Oklahoma Heat, which sounds so cheesy, because SUR's from Oklahoma. If you get the book, it's not going to be called that. I was going to be called that, but I want to go back to SUR with love. Submissives. To SUR with love. Or love letters to SUR. I don't know. So yeah, I got the book. I got the rough draft. Now, when you start out writing books, a lot of times it costs you money. That was $5 or $6. And so yeah, this ain't gonna be cheap to publish for the first book, but I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep writing. The thing is, my family doesn't know, except for like 1 or 2 people. Well, I can't really share with them. I can't really share. When I actually get the book where you can download it, I'll put the link in the description. But for right now, it's probably going to be To SUR with Love. My poems to my first dominant or something like that. But the fun part is at work, you know, I want to share this exciting news that I'm writing. I wrote a book, and I was like, oh my God, what's it about? What's it about? And I'm like, I can't really tell you. Ooh. So the twins, they used to be the triplets. They're younger guys. They're both like seniors in high school. Well, they're graduates now, but tall, over 6 foot, blonde, blue-eyed jocks. And they're the sweetest guys. And that would be Teeny. Like, one of the girls that works there goes to high school, or went to high school with them, and informed me how they intimidated all the girls. And they're my buddies. I love them to death. They're really good looking too. So it's fun because I gotta share a story about Leslie Cruella. I wasn't talking to her anymore. I stopped talking to her because she said that SUR looked like my nephew. And I said, that's inappropriate. Because that's inappropriate. And she's like, I'm standing by. I'm like, bitch. No. So I dropped her like a hot potato. And she has the hots for one of the twins. Like, I think they're both adorable. I think the other one's cuter. I think they're both adorable, but the one in my eyes is cuter. He's got the, like, 70s hair. You know, this kid. She thinks the other one's cute, right? Whatever. So I was talking to them and that whole thing going on. I'll explain that one later if I remember it. And, I'm talking to the boys, talking to my twins, you know, and she goes, stop harassing the help, you know, trying to be funny. And my twin, the long hair one, goes, she can harass us all she wants. I was like, that's right. And I put my arm around, like, and the other way I was like, these are my boys. Oh, God, that chapped her cheek so damn bad. Oh, it was so entertaining. So entertaining. So anyway, I told the twins about my book. And they're like, oh, that's awesome. You know, we'll have to read it. What's it about? And I'm like, it's a poetry book to my ex. I don't want to tell them. Oh, God. It's like my niece. She just, her birthday's the day after mine, right? And she's exactly a decade and a day younger than me. So she's 31. And so I was like, happy birthday. She's like, and I found out she's opening her own little business, which is cool. And I was like, I'm writing a book. She goes, oh my God, what's it about? And I'm like, it's a poetry book to my first dom. And she's like, oh, I kind of suspected that about you. And I was like, oh. Come to find out, T is, she's a switch too, but she's dominant. So, yeah, like, and my other niece, Cien. Yeah, I work at a retailer, right? And she worked there for a little bit, okay? Cien walks through the store with, and I love my niece, but she, and you can wear what you want. You can wear whatever you want, but she's a big girl like me. And she got, like, way out. The poor girl in 7th grade was in 7th grade was the girl that had, like, everything, you know, that developed early. That girl, okay. She don't like a bra. That's just a fact. I'm not judging. I'm just stating. And the clothing that she wears is usually ill-fitting. It's way too tight, and there's not much fabric. So there's not much left to the imagination. Okay. There's an art to dressing sexy and provocative. And then there's, I'm just not wearing enough fabric to cover me properly, you know, because there's, you know, you can be bigger and dress pretty and dress sexy. You can. It is possible. Okay. So she was walking through our store where she used to work, and everybody knows her, wearing a collar, on a leash. Her husband was walking her, and her girlfriend was there with them. So everybody's in the store. Like, they took pictures of her and shared it on Facebook. And the manager, one of the managers was like, oh yeah, her name was Cien. And I was like, does she look like this? And I pulled up a photo, and they're like, yeah. And I'm like, oh my God. Because, and I'm not judging her. I may sound like I'm judging her, but I'm not judging her, by the way. It's an upside down kitty. But it's a small town. This is small town Midwest. People are not open to things. And I love her, but good God. So yeah, like, my family, and I'm sure, I have no doubt, if my mother would have gotten into the lifestyle, she'd have been a submissive. A masochist submissive. Just because the woman had this incredibly high pain tolerance. And I could just see her like, ooh, whip me, dear. Ooh, whip me. I could see my mother doing that. Mom was a freak. Oh, God. Mother was a freak. So, yeah, there's a lot more to tell, but this video is really long, so I will talk to you guys later. You have a wonderful night, day, whatever. Bye, little. Bye, bye. Let's see if I can do this. Ready?